Raahubaat Yasar. Rananin Kawan Maa'at Akhet Atum Rayay. And I'm a student teacher of our master teacher, Baba Yanun, known also as His Excellency, Dr. Malachi Kobina Zadak York. Today, we have a study and an update coming forth by way of Baba Yanun. Today's study is titled Enqi and Enlil. The ancient Sumerians, that is, Ham's sons, Cush's sons, Nimrod, also has names in their tongue: cuneiform, Ugarit, which became Akkadian, Akkadian, Chaldean, Syriac, Ashuric, Aramic, Phoenician, Hebrew, Amharic, and Ge'ez, Arabic, and other subdialects. The Sumerians called this two, Enqi and Enlil, who were of the Anunan, or gods, who also had other personal by names. They can be traced back and uncovered written records in stone back to about 3,700 BC. And the records show that these two gods were sons of the highest, or Anu, and they were known as Nunamnir or Enlil, mother Antu. His name or title is In, and means Lord, Master, and Lil, meaning above, sky. So he was known as Lord of heavens or above. He was also the storm god who became Baal al-Shadi or Ilu Kur Gal, above ruler of the mountain. He was associated with Egyptian as Bes, and to some Satuk or Set. You also find the Egyptian Nataru name Shed, Savior, is what it means from the time of Akhet Atum or Amenhotep IV, a protector, healer. And his older brother was known as Nu-Dimmud or Enqi, mother Nimul. His name or title is In, and means Lord Master, and Ki, meaning earth, and became Ki and Gi. He was also the god of life, who became Yahweh, from Egyptian Hu-Hi, and Hu. Also, he was known in Egypt as Ptah, and to some Asar or Osiris. The stone tablets inform us that it was Enlil, Bes Satuch, Baal, who brought the flood. It was Baal al-Shaddai who destroyed Ur and Babylon. And it was Baal al-Shaddiyah who constantly opposed the education and enlightenments of mortals. Indeed, the early Ritunu Syrian text tells us that it was this Enlil who obliterated the city of Sodom and Gomorrah on the Dead Sea Scroll, not because they were homosexuals, as we are told, but because they were great centers of learning, as you see in their New Testament, Revelation chapter 1, verse 8. They linked Sodom and Egypt together. But it was his brother Enqi, or Yahweh, Ptah, on the other hand, who despite the wrath of his brother Enlil, or Baal al-Shaddai, Enqi's own son, Nin-Gish-Zidda, who granted the children access to the tree of knowledge and the tree of life. It was Enqi, Yahweh, Ptah, Past set up the escape strategy during the flood. It was Enqi, Yahweh Ptah, who passed over the key, Ankh, code, password to the me, colored stones, chips, discs, in the center of the enclosed garden of delight, the tablets of destiny, the tablets of scientific laws, of time and all incidents which were the teachings of the ancient Egyptian order, the mysteries of Kemet, schools taught only in Maa'at Akhet Rayay, Egypt. The Egyptian name Ptah or Pia, Ptah is opener. It's the same root as Fataha, opened, Fataha, Arabic, Hebrew, Thou. Many mystic orders and books talk about what they call the Hermetic schools of Thutmose or Thutmose III, Zahutmose III of Egypt's 18th dynasty. Many make the claim that he was in fact Dawood of the Bible and Quran. The school of Hermes is really Tahuti or Thoth, known to the Sumerian as Nin Gish Zidda. The master teacher. As for David and his son Solomon, was of the Masonic or Pahimut in Egypt, and you will find David's story in Egypt. It was recorded as a folk tale of the autobiography of Sinuhu and the giants. So there is much to make of the relationship of the two. The autobiography of Sinuhu existed in many texts as far back as the 20th century BCE, long before the Hebrew story of David and Goliath. The Philistine, and note, when you read Genesis chapter 10, verse 13 through 14, you will see Mitzrayim, Egypt, offspring, and in verse 14, you see out of whom came Philistine. That is part of Palestine, of which Goliath the giant was. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 4. It was at these mystic schools of learning that the Shasu, or Israelites, priests of the tribes of Levi, studied the Egyptian Wab priest, became the Rab priests of Israelites. Tribes and secret orders were set up as the order of the Aryans, Hebrews chapter 7, verse 10 through 15. Moses' brother, Aaron, the order of Melchizedek, whose Egyptian name is Zedi. The priesthood became the Essenes order, who protected the Dead Sea Scrolls of Qumran, uncovered in 1947 AD, which in time became Masonic order, Knights of Columbus, Rosencrucix, Shriner, Alhambra, and many others called frats, keepers of the Egyptian secrets. You had Sobek, the crocodile god, who was seen as a dragon. Sobek in Egypt was son of Setuch and Niet. Setuch was the Bible Cain, and Sobek's consort became Sachumtet or Sekhmet, the feline order. Upheld by Hikachasut or Hyksos, Canaanites, who wanted the secrets of Mafhuzet, the liquid gold, and from the royal courts of the dragon Apapis, who would kill for the secret password that got them into the ninth chamber, where the gold box of Zahuti, Tuhutwi, Thoth, Hermes were kept at, contained the formula of the elixir of life. At one time kept inside the Kaaba, the Q building in Arabia's city, Mecca. Today, the direction of the Muslims turned to prayer, and Ali and his family were killed by invaders who converted to al-Islam from India and North Asia. They formed the many sub-Sunni sects, even married into Muhammad's own family, to get the secrets kept by the then Shriners. And here there's a diagram showing the shrine symbol. On top you see the scimitar, that is a sword on the very top. In the center you see the Egyptian face. And on the two sides is not an upside down crescent, it's actually feline teeth. They're symbol of protection and keepers of the secrets. That is the true symbol of the shrine. See nothing, hear nothing, say nothing. Al-Muthqarun, the Shriners. But in time, the mixed seed took over Mecca, killed the true Egyptian bloodline of Ishmael to Kedar, to Muhammad, to his daughter Fatima, who had the mitochondrial DNA, and her consort Ali and their children. They even killed his Egyptian consort Mary, the Copt or Coptic Egyptian, whose son they killed at birth named Ibrahim, because Ibrahim or Abraham took an Egyptian wife, Hagar, Hathar. So this blood was pure. Her son Ishmael took an Egyptian wife, Genesis chapter 21, verse 21. So his son Kedar, black skin, from whom Muhammad claimed descent, had gold blood. They killed all the blood they could, but some migrated out of Arabia on up and into Egypt, then down to Nubia as Dungalawe of Sudan's Al-Mahdi's bloodline. And the Euro-Arabs and Indo-Arabs took over al-Islam and changed it into a religion of bloodshed as you see it is today. Yet they never got the real secrets of Quran. To this day, Euro-Shriners and Euro-Muslims seek the best kept secrets. So back when three sons of Jacob, Reuben, Simon, Levi, and the three Jacobs killed the master who would not give them the password to cure the Shasu Israelites. And because of it, the Pharaoh Setuch I, or Seti I, chased them out of Egypt, as Ahmos and Kahmos chased the Hekachasutu out of Egypt back up into the land of Canaan before. But the Wabu, or Wab, under Moshe, Moses, Musa, or Hapimus, as he was known, was a student of the school of Zahuti. So he became known as Thutmose, or Tahuti-Mos. And the deity he called on was Atum Rayay, being under the protection of Amenhotep IV, or Akhet Atum, or Akhet Atum of Amarna. They were given only 3 degrees out of 9 degrees, and took that out of Egypt to become their laws and secret teachings of the Kabbalah. But much was kept hidden as the testament of Solomon, how to control the 6 ether evil forces by the seal or ring given to him by his Egyptian consort, taken from Egypt, given to Solomon. They even had the secret to raise a dead person back to a zombie type of life, a Frankenstein-like creature called Gollum, how to build a gold box or ark that became a radio to speak from Earth to Sahat, Orion, and transformation of matter. The sovereign and priestly order passed from Egypt to the Kohen priests of Jerusalem, to the Europeans who came to Jerusalem as the Knights Templar to find the secrets dug under Solomon's temple until they found them, but were killed because they would not give it to the Catholic Church. They became rich and powerful by what they found there about Jesus' own bloodline, Secret Heart Order of Irish, Scottish Rite Order of Scotland, secret satanic orders. Much the church did not want them to know, and about Egypt and the Amen. Today, the Order of the Knights of the KKK hate all of the holy bloodline of Joseph, the Judaic father of Jesus, and Mary, the Egyptian Levite mother of Jesus. The alchemical strength of the holy bloodline from from Yahweh, Enqi, and Africans, also known as Ptah. The original region is first Egypt, then Sumer, then on to Jerusalem. The coronation into the secret order of Zehuti was the frat of Sobek, the dragon, crocodile. The noble symbol was its oil. The person was white from head to toe by the crocodile's oil. And Setuk's other consort was Ptah Waret, the hippopotamus goddess, protector of female and childbirth. Her name, the Great One. She is the center of the universe on the calendar called Dandora. In Hathor's temple, she is also of the feline order. So the oil of the hippopotamus was called Masuh. The word does not only mean its Egyptian origin is to wipe. You find in Hebrew as Strong's number 4899, Mosheach or Mashiach, to consecrate, wipe over. Also in Arabic, Masah, to wipe over. So they got the word right out of Egypt. And it became Messiah, Mashiach, Masih, to wipe away. Greek Strong, number 3323, Masih, Messiah, wiping. It was then the rites made, the new member, a Messiah or Messiah, who was wiped clean and pure. The Romans and Greeks changed it from Musa to Hebrew, Mashiach, onto Messiah, then dropped that and used the Hindu Krishna as Christ. Greek Strong's number 5547. Kyrios, Christos. So in fact, all who called on Christ are really calling on Hare Krishna of the Hindu religion. On recognizing all this, one can immediately see the first anomaly in the traditional stories of religion as taught by them, whose records of successors link back from Mesopotamia back to Egypt. They call Irik and Mizraim. Each person in their Bible has an Egyptian counterpart. Elohim, Nataru, Adam, Gab, Eve, Nut, Abel, Asar, Cain, Setuh. They both had twin sisters, Aset, Labuda, Nababtat Hatet, Aklimia, and Sakumtet, Lilith, Har, Seth, Hapi, Enos. And the list goes on and on and on. You can find clearer stories recorded in the Zohar, the Talmud, the Midrash, Book of Jubilee, and many others the Leviticus wish to keep from your eyes. So you, Ohms, know the real truth and give them back their religion to be free of worshiping in their image, giving them your spirit and physical powers. It was your very being, your ability to transform from man to Gebir. Hebrew Strong's number 13, verse 1368. Gabur, Gibbor, man, God, demigod. To Elohim, Hebrew Strong's number 430. Nataru, or self-completeness, which posed the ultimate problem for the Canaanites, the Mukasu. And as you know, they turned to Baal Gad, or Enlil, El Shadi, Christ. And we turn to Ptah, Enqi, Huhi, Elion El. The mortals who entered, who got to partake of the tree of life, the plant of eternal long life, could themselves be transformed or transfiguration, shapeshift. Luke chapter 9, verse 28 through 29. Matthew chapter 17, verse 1 through 8. Mark chapter 9, verse 8. Mark chapter 9, verse 2 through 8. Exodus chapter 7, verse 1. As stated in Psalm chapter 82, verse 6. John chapter 10, verse 34. Like the Anunnaki Elohim, Theo, Alihad, gods, their Bibles say, when Adam had eaten of the fruit, he had the same knowledge as they, Elohim gods, had, but he, Yahweh Elohim, a Lord of the gods, did not want him to get to the tree of life, because by it he would live forever. Genesis chapter 3, verse 22. The Lord God was Bes, Enlil, El Shaddai, Balgad. 26. The Adamites are the Munkasu race of their Bible, and they came from the Dravidians, East Indians, and from then on they had secret knowledge of Tob, good, and Rayay, evil, created Hinduism linked to Krishna, and tried by yoga, meditation, to raise the sleeping serpent called the Kundalini, opened the third eye by raising their chakras. That was the good to them, but they also learned the secret arts of the body, sexual pleasures called Kama Sutra, which they passed on to their offsprings, the cursed seed of Canaan, who now took the Hindu or Sanskrit title Aryans, which means noble, and now claim they are Aryans, and took the Hindu cross, the swastika, as their cross, the mark put on Cain or Cain. They called their Hindu masters monks or monks, from tailless monkeys, which they worshipped. They call the female master Nun or Nun, because none or virgins. The Dravidian or Kali children, black-skinned Indians with black fur hair, are the original black man, the Asiatic black man, from which came the Caucasoid race, the Mukasu, the Adamites. They shaped their religion, Christianity, from Christianism. Excuse me. They shaped their religion, Christianity, from Christianism. Qasiyin, Quran, chapter 5, verse 8, chapter 5, verse 82. The Hindus got it from their gods, Avarta, equivalent to the Egyptian Nataru, watchers, who are the controllers of nature. The only people on earth who still have the holy blood are the Africans, and many of them have mixed in to a low level and need to be taken of the liquid gold, the elixir of life. Zehuti was a wise guardian of Pa Mafkhuzet. He was from Sahat, he was from Sabatu, Sabatat, or Sabit, Sathis, Cyrus' three-sun star system, at the foot of Sahat, Orion, seventh heaven, seven-sun system. He was a keeper of the secrets. They called him the winged serpent. The Sumerians called him Nin Gish Zidda. The Hebrews called him Nahash. The Greeks, Thoth. The Romans, Mercury. The Muslims, Iblis or Khanas, meaning the one who only whispers to the worthy. The true Melanites, only in very recent times, have medical scientists identified the hormonal secretion of the pineal gland. The essence was called melatonin, which means night workers, from the Greek melos, meaning black. Those with a high melanin, which is called the hormone of darkness. and is produced only at night or in the dark. The black race have this in their genes, but the leper, Mukasu, Adamites, has it bleached out, lost of it. So they seek the nectar of the gods, the African people. The first people in their Bible had it in their blood, from Elohim and Nephilim, who came to earth in Genesis chapter 1 verse 2 and Genesis chapter 6, which is why they lived so long. The Pachaminu, the Agduad, and Pa-Sabjetu, the Ennead, who created Shu, father Atum, and Tefnut, mother Lilith, the parents of Geb, Adam, and Nut, Eve, parent mother Anath, and father Patah, and their 4 children had it, but Setuch Cain killed Asar Abel, so Setuch's bloodline still existed, and they had it. The Bible says his father told him to leave Egypt eastward. This seed had the holy bloodline. Setuch was called Set by some, and even Seth. The other side of the bloodline would have been Asar, Osiris, and his consort Ashtat, Isis. But Setuch, Set, killed Asar, Osiris. So, the Chubitu, or angelic beings, of the Nataru, Khansu, Gabriel, and Hunum, Michael, chose men of the holy blood to have a son, Horus, by Ashtat, Isis, to carry on this bloodline. Note, and this is very important, many people had the same names but were not the same people. So after the min ritual with the Bih, phallus, Ashtat had a son, Har. The Bible called him Seth, Genesis chapter 4, verse 25, and states, this son was of the Elohim, or states, for God, Elohim, said, she, Eve, Ashtat, Isis, hath appointed me another Strong's, number 22, verse 33. Zerah, from Strong's, chapter 22, verse 32. Zawra, seed, sperm. Zihra. So it's clear that something took place with the semen from this new birth. This side had a mixed bloodline, but still had some of it. But as time passed, as they mixed, they began to die younger and younger. You see, it went up and down as it does in those days after 400 years of blood mixing with Adamites. By those taken from Bassa, Dungalawe tribe, Napata, after around 1600 AD, slave trade taken all over the world, sold and raped physically, and now mentally into having sex with mixed genes. I'm gonna read that again. You see, it went up and down as it does in those days after 400 years of blood mixing with Caucasians, Adamites, by those taken from Bassa, Dungalawe tribe, Napata, of after around 1600 AD, slave trade, taken all over the world, sold and raped physically and now mentally into having sex with mixed genes. So back then, like now, they were in need of the elixir of life. This line goes on down to Huni, Huntwi, the other Lamech, to Sa-Nefir Rayay, or Snefiru, Noah, onto Hufu, Shem, and Chaf Rayay, Ham, and Minqa Rayay, or Minkure, Japheth. Then on down to Unas, Terah, Teti, Abraham, his consort Ibnit, Sarah, and his other consort Berisenith, Hagar, and her son Pepi II, Ishmael, and his first consort Ibnuit. Sarah had a son, Pepi I, Isaac, who fathered twin sons, Jacob and Enos. Who fathered twin sons, Jacob and Esau. Both mixed their bloodline with the cursed seed of Canaan, or Canaanites, and lost their holy blood. Only Judah and Ephraim, son of Jacob, son Joseph, who became Egypt, named Zepheh-Panit, and took an Egyptian consort named Aseneth, or Asetnet, daughter of Patah Pareh, a priest of On, Unas, and Nu, Heliopolis. Genesis chapter 41, verse 45. His sons, Manasseh, Genesis chapter 41, verse 51. And Ephraim, Genesis chapter 41, verse 52. Verse 52. Mixed with the pure tribe of Judah. But the Levite priests of Moses had the formula. They needed and kept it as they had promised the Egyptians. So according to Pashasu, the Israelites, the bloodline is with Joseph, the father by way of David and Solomon, to pass on to Jesus. It's not Mary of Judah, according to Tamare, the Egyptian, the mother because the mitochondrial DNA. It's Joseph of Judah. In their Bible, Matthew chapter 1, verse 16, and in Luke chapter 3, verse 23 through 31. Mary was a Levite, not a Judahite. So Mary had to go to the Essenes of Qumran, who had the elixir to drink. She stayed with them and was fed the gold bread needed to give birth to a son of Pa-Nataru, Har-Amun. They called him the Amen in Revelation chapter 3, verse 14, full of the holy soul and seed. Also from Mariah Achnuas, Hagar, her son Pepi II, Ishmael, had 12 sons and 1 daughter, who carried the mitochondrial DNA, genes, from his second son, Kedar, black skin, came the Arabian prophet Ahmed Muhammad, why Pa-Chabit, the angel Gabriel Khansu, Quran chapter 22, verse 7, 5, chapter 6, verse 158, came to him in the cave to teach him. But again, after his death, and with much mixing of the holy bloodline, it's lost to Muslims as well. Now they are ruled by Canaanites and Indo-Arabs, who don't have the Negroid blood any longer. Most don't even know about the liquid gold and the blood of the Alihat, the gods they worship. They don't know the reason behind religion and their founder quest and how it all comes from Egypt. So what was it all about? A powdered gold that could activate the melanite, enhance and boost the body's immune system, and those with high pineal secretion are less likely to develop a cancerous disease. It even reverses the effect of leprosy, and in some cases, raise the dead. High melanite production heightens energy, stamina, and physical tolerance levels, and it is directly related to sleep patterns, keeping the body temperature regulated, with properties that operates through cardiovascular system. It is in fact the body's most potent and effective antioxidant, and has positive mental and physical anti-aging properties. It is manufactured by the pineal gland through the activation of the chemical messengers called serotonin. This transmits nerve impulses across the chromosome pairs at a point when the cell nuclei are divided and the chromosomes are halved. A process called meiosis eventually become combined with other half sets upon fertilization. So it shows you that the process of being melanated happens in the womb. So what with this magical powder? Is there a way of using heat to transform metallic gold into a powder which is ingestible and beneficial? The answer is yes, it is. And yes, it can be, as in the foremost alchemical principle of the masters. The best kept secret, best kept sacred. The gold of the gods. The recipe. The recipient is moved into realms of heightened awareness and consciousness because of his inherited melanin and serotonin. The transfiguration takes place. In ancient Egypt, it was called shafa food. The Hebrew called it shell bread. In ancient Egypt, it was always depicted as a console cake used to enhance the pituitary and pineal activity, heightened perceptions, awareness, and intuition, but only for the metallurgic adept of the mystery schools. Well, now it's that time again for you to be born again, a new you, transformed back to a child of the Nataru. Every 24,000 years, the true son of Rayay will rise again to shine down on his children. He sends one from above to incarnate into a human form, such as Baba Yanun, who prepares the way for Rayay Har Akhet. He being Atum Rayay, raised to Amun Rayay, sets and is in between them. Atum Rayay shines down. For years, people the world over have been looking, praying, asking, seeking for the return of Pa Masih, the Messiah. They call him all kinds of names and attributes, titles. One thing they all knew is that he was coming to save those that have been lost. Are you ready? Will you be left behind? Is it too late? Look at the world around you coming down. It's time for a new world of good people, a world without the evil ones. And that concludes our reading for the shadow. All right. Usually we ask, are there any rereads? But at this time, because of the current temperature and because we have more to read, I'm going to move on to the updates. These are updates from Baba Yanun or Yanan. Number 1, I know by now all went well with the New Year's ball, both days. I also know that it is very, very cold. Can we all agree to that? I know that it is very, very cold. I warned that our providers told me that the war on the evil ones is on now, as weather and elements, ice on the east, fire on the west, and wind and water on the south, and all three on the north of this land, while the Antichrist has taken his seat over them. Bible Revelation chapter 9, verse 11. Revelation chapter 9, verse 11. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. It's so clear if you look, listen, and watch him, that he is the man of sin. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3 through 12. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opened and exalted himself above all that is called gods, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth on the temple of God, showeth himself that he is God. Remember ye not that when I went down with you, I told you these things, and now you know that withheld, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, and all power and signs and laying wonders. And with all disbelieveness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusions, that they should believe in lie, that they all might be damned, whom believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. Also see him in Daniel chapter 7, verse 25 to 26. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hands until a time and times, and the dividing of time. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it unto the end. He got his dominion from his father, the devil. John chapter 8, verse 44, back in the beginning. John chapter 8, verse 44. You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out his father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth. For there is no truth in him when he lies. He speaketh his native tongue, for he is a liar and the father of lies. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 through 28. God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And who is his father, or his maker? Revelation chapter 13, verse 2 through 18.
Revelation 13:2 reads, And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority.
Tawhat. Who is, Revelation chapter 12, verse 9 through 12. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcome him by the blood of the Lamb, and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Therefore rejoice, ye heaven, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Quran chapter 27, verse 82. And the saying came to pass upon them, we brought forth for them a Dabat beast from Al-Ard, the planet, key, earth, that will speak to them, that the Nas, they were not faithful with our my signs, and they will not be successful. 42 verse 29, and from his, not our, signs is the khalaqu, creation of the skies, and the planet earth, Tiamat, al-ard, and that which he, not we, has scattered in both of them, from the Dabayat creatures, and he is powerful over Jamihim, their gathering, when he pleases. 24 verse 45. Allah has created every living creature from water, and of them are those that move on their bellies, and them are those that walk on two legs, and of them are those that walk on four. Allah created what He wills indeed. Allah is over all things. The Dragonians, and now they speak about knowing aliens, are real on public news. It is coming out like books. Revelation chapter 10 verse 1 through 11. Then I saw another mighty angel coming down from heaven. He was robed in a cloud, with a rainbow above his head. His face was like the sun, and his legs were like fiery pillars. He was holding a little scroll, which lay open in his hand. He planted his right foot on the sea and his left foot on the land. And he gave a loud shout, like the roar of a lion. When he shouted, the voices of the seven thunders spoke. And when the seven thunders spoke, I was about to write, but I heard a voice from heaven say, seal up what the seven thunders have said, and do not write it down. 5. Then the angel I had seen standing on the sea and on the land raised his right hand to heaven, and he swore by him who lived forever and ever, who created the heavens and all that is in them, the earth and all that is in it, and the sea and all that is in it, and said, there will be no more delay. But in the days when the seventh angel is about to sound his trumpet, the mystery of God will be accomplished, just as he announced to his servants, the prophet. Then the voice said, I have heard from heaven spoke to me once more. Go take the scroll that lies open in the hand of the angels, who is standing on the sea and on the land. So I went to the angels and asked him to give me the little scroll. He said to me, take it and eat it. It will turn your stomach sour, but in your mouth it will be as sweet as honey. I took the little scroll from the angel's hand and ate it. It tastes as sweet as honey in my mouth, but when I had eaten it, my stomach turned sour. Then I was told, you must prophesy again about many peoples, nations, languages, and kings. The Quran, the little book, told them in their end times, a reptilian will come up and speak to them of their judgment that took place over in Arabia on the 9th day, the 9th month of the year 1999 AD, to tell them they would not receive an extension of time. Their 6,000 year from 4000 BCE to 2000 AD has come. Bible, Malachi chapter 4, verse 2 through 6. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. And you shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. And you shall tread upon the wicked, for they shall be ashed under the soles of your feet. In the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord of hosts, remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord, Yahweh. And you shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Daniel chapter 12, verse 1 through 13. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmaments, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Then I, Daniel, looked, and behold, there stood other two, the one on this side of the bank of the river, and the other on the other side of the bank of the river. And one said to the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters and rivers, how long shall it be to the end of these wonders? I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the rivers, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto the heaven, and swear by time that liveth forever, that it shall be for a time and a half. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. And I heard, but understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed upon and sealeth to the time of the end. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. And from the time that the daily sacrifices shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh absolute set up, there shall be 1,220 days. Blessed is he that waiteth, and cometh to the 1,330 days. But go thou thy way till the end, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days. So now is Revelation chapter 18, verse 2 to 24. And he said, and he cried mighty with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunken of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornications with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partake of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and God had remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewards you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill it to her double. How much she hath glorified herself, and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow given her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen, I am no widow, and am no widow. I shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine. And she shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judges her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornications and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, this great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is the judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. The merchandise of gold and silver, and precious stones, and the pearls, and fine linen, and purple, and silk, and scarlet, and all thine wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory, and all manner of vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and iron, and marble, and in oil, and fine flour, and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men. And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee. On all things which were ordained and good are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold, and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster, and all the company in ships, and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood after off, and cried, and when they saw the smoke of a burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads, and cried, weeping, wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich, and that had ships in the sea, be risen in her countless. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God had avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took upon a stone like a great milestone, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus the violence shall that great city, Babylon, be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the voice of the harps and musicians, and the pipes, and the trumpets shall be heard no more at all in thee. And no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee. And the sound of a milestone shall be heard no more in thee at all. And the light of a candle shine no more in all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For they, merchants, were the great men of the earth. For by the sorcerers were all nations deceived. And in her was found the blood of the prophets and the saints, and all that were slain upon the earth. Has come to there is nothing they can do and change their fates, not faith or beliefs. They live by hate of all others. Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and thy woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. It's in their genes, enmity. So they only do what is in their unnatural nature, as you read in their Bible. Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his hearts was only evil continuously. The generation of Adamites. Genesis chapter 5, verse 1. This is the book of the generation of Adam, in the day that God created man. In the likeness of God made he him. Quran chapter 3, verse 33. Surely the source of Allah did choose Adam and Noah and the family of Abraham and the family of Abraham over all the other Enosites of the known worlds. Wicked and evil, as their Jesus said of them. John chapter 8, verse 44. You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaketh his native language, for he is a liar and the father of liars. I am doing fine with the gifts of knowing their unnatural nature teaches us to expect anything of them and really just don't care, as they feed off of your fears of them, sadness, distress. It is in their nature. Yet to watch the news, you see it all coming to an end for them. Even their own from other lands look at them in shame and doubt, shaking their heads. And the Antichrist opened his mouth to tweet each day. Revelation chapter 13, verse 2 through 6. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him power, and the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority. And I saw one of his heads, as it was wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the worlds wondered after the beast. And the worshippers, and they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemous, and power was given unto him to continue forth and 2 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. Revelation chapter 16, verse 13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come unto the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophets. Lots of big talk, yet nothing to back it up. And now those made rich by the new Babylon just shake their heads at them. Revelation chapter 14, verse 7, saying with a loud voice, Fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the foundation of waters, and the fountains of waters. So don't even think about them. They live in fear of their own makings. Abraham raped an African Egyptian woman. Genesis chapter 16, verse 1 through 16. And made a new mixed hybrid race called Arabs, and the religion sect of Christism called Mohammedism. They made this monster now. They live in fear of them, while they try to get China to help them destroy Asians, Koreans. Oh, Euros don't destroy each other for others, and they think Asians will help them destroy other Asians. And remember, most of Russia is of Asian descent. Most Euro-Americans don't even know this fact. Russia will not help destroy Asians. And other Europeans look on shaking their heads, saying to the beast, If you think we will let you push the button, you're nuts. You will not blow the last trumpet to destroy us all, not on our watch. So these are some real strange days, and we have nothing to fear. It's their end, not ours. Baba Yanun stated, he does not want to be called Pa Nabab Yanun any longer. He prefers to be called Baba Yanan or Baba Yanun. We should get involved in things that includes us, such as voting, etc. If there are marches and parades, we need to have our flag out there and support LGBT community because we know the truth. Yet, do not be involved in any crazy stuff though. I'm gonna repeat that. We should get involved in things that include us, such as voting. If there are marches and parades, we need to have our flags out there and support LGBT community because we know the truth. Yet, do not be involved in any crazy stuff though. Baba Yanun mentioned the movie Paul, an alien, he said that's exactly how they act. The ball was successful and he was happy, but the ball was successful and he was happy about the tribute to the elders and the Ansars. He said, Mandip, owner of the ball venue, will become one of us before it's all over. The Brotherhood of the Owl, Behemoth, Grove, Brotherhood of the Leviathan, Bilderbergers, Political Link. These white brotherhoods, or brotherhoods of the white light in the mountain of California, is closed to only invites and members. This is where they meet each year to get their orders from their alien gods. It's held on July 15th of each year, and at sunset, they offer a virgin girl on an altar. Her blood attracts the evil aliens. The alien speaks to them that night under a giant stone owl. All needed world leaders were and still are invited. It's a secret. Yes, some Negroes also are a part. They did this on July 15, 1999, where the alien Nanar Sin himself told the Adamites they would not get an extension of time after 2000 AD and so on. On 9/9/1999 AD, all were informed that the 6,000-year domination given to them by the Dragonians, Arcanians, has ended, and that their overlords will be departing Earth by the order of the Secret Nine, who own this planet Earth, and all who dwell in it. It was the order of the owl who made Obama president, to get nothing done while in office, and that would make way for the trumpet to be blown by the Raphael, giant power, and bring to the throne an Antichrist, Trump, and his host of team of demons, the man of sin, or Nanar's men. They are setting up Trump to get him out of office or assassinate him. Trump is not Scottish, he is Nazi. Conflict is over with the 5%er Nation of Islam elders. Conflict is over with the 5%ers. Nation of Islam, elders of the Moorish Science Temple. Baba Yanun stated, we need to start reaching out to them, organization, and bring them in. These are the non-Mufma'iyu, majestic beings whom own this planet Earth and all its inhabitants. Atum, Asar, Tafafnatat, Natat, Nababtat Hatat, Ashtat, Satach, Sa'abab, Shawau. These are the 9 aliens who own this planet Earth, controlling the elements. They are the Muntaru, Nataru, the overseers. As you see, it's our numerical symbol, 9. It is also the symbol of the solar system, Rayay, Ray, Ra'a, Ra, Roy, sun. These are the 9 Muftaru, primordial beings, Pata, Amun, Nuntat, Hahtat, Kaktat, Amuntat, Kak, Ha, Nun. The primordial ones is primitive life, and the primeval ones are time. These are the first 9 aliens who germinated the seed of this planet Earth and development of life from the seas on the land in South Africa. On YouTube, there's a link called Real Alien Footage of Gray Aliens. This is real footage of the being Krill. There is another one, you can see him and Arima walking together. This is real, and they are real. The media can't hide them any longer. They do not like to be called grays. They are not gray. Sin is not an act. It's a person known in Akkadian, known in Babylonian Sumeria as Nanar, the fire, Atar, deity of lights and fire. Look it up. All languages are just square and circles. Raahubaat Yasar. Whew, that was quite lengthy. Wow. All right. Are there any rereads from the updates? And just to let you know, maybe I should do this before people start packing up. We do have some announcements. So before we do that, let me do that before people leave, okay? And this announcement pertains to the freedom of our master teacher, Baba Yanun. Okay? UNW announcement. Raahubaat Yasar. As you all know, we are still in the fight for the master teacher's freedom. We cannot forget about the master teacher who has dedicated his life to everyone but himself. The master teacher gave us a 2-day ball. We all would have loved for him to be there. He has constantly thought about us and sacrificed his life for us. He has always put us first, even while he is locked away in maximum prison. He is constantly looking for a way to give his last thoughts, his last feelings and concerns. He gives his last even when he doesn't have anything to give, while he is constantly being tortured and harassed. He's an elder, older than most of us, living through hell. He has had several near-death incidents and still thought about what he can do for us. As you all know, a few of our family are in Africa, putting their lives at risk while fighting for the master teacher in Liberia. They have met with government officials who have confirmed the master teacher's diplomatic status, but in lack of funds for certain lawyers and document fees. We are closer than ever to freeing our master teacher. We are asking you not to forget the master teacher and the fight we are in. Please, if you want to continue to help free our master teacher, Baba Yanun, please send funds via PayPal to, and I'm going to spell it out to you, ACTSKINDONATE@outlook.com. That is acts of kindness. Donate at outlook.com. And just to let everybody know, this is real. We are in the fight. A lot of things are happening in the light and behind closed doors. And I can confirm personally that we are closer to the master teacher's freedom than ever before. We cannot give up now. People have a lot of doubts. People have a lot of concerns by rights because of this 15 years of fighting. But when I say we are at the door again, we are at the door again, people. So we are asking all Nuwaupians to please contribute and see how you can help. We make sure everybody is updated on what's happening. You can always go to the website. Also, the second announcement is on Saturday, February 17th. We will be hosting an annual Tasudak Zamut Friendship Day here at Maprar number 1. We invite all to be a part of the eloquent event. This event is for ages 16 and up only. That concludes the United Nuwaupian Worldwide announcement. And at this time, if there's any rereads from the updates, I'm open to do so. Sister right there. Going once, going twice. All right, we thank everybody for coming out. The Shadow. Always tune in to unw.org for more information and updates. Also, we ask again that everybody supports the Master Teacher's freedom and efforts thereof. Family, travel safely, and Wadu.